Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about Apple and what could be a truly genius move to not just catch up, but maybe even take the lead in this global AI arms race. Let's be honest, right? When you think about the big names in AI, Apple probably isn't the first one that pops into your head. For a while now, it's felt like they're just falling behind in this huge tech race. And look, this isn't just a feeling. When you put them side by side with their Android competitors, you can see that Apple's been getting outpaced at pretty much every step. And the really scary part for them, that gap, it's not closing. It's getting bigger.
So, okay, how big is this problem really, and what's Apple's game plan? Here's what we're going to cover. We'll look at Apple's AI problem, then a potential genius strategy. We'll check out their billion-dollar shortlist, and finally, we'll ask a big question. Is this even a race against time?
All right, so first up, let's get right to the core of the issue. When you look at the evidence, it really seems like Apple's own in-house AI strategy has, well, for all intents and purposes, failed. And for a company that built its entire reputation on being an innovator, that's a huge problem.
And this word laggard, it's really important. You know, in a field like AI that's moving at light speed, if you're standing still, you're actually going backwards. Being a laggard means every single day you're losing more ground to the competition.
But what if things are about to change? Because on a recent conference call, Apple CEO Tim Cook, he dropped a major hint. A hint about a totally new path forward, one that could be a real game changer for them. And this right here, this quote from Tim Cook, it's a huge signal. It's basically saying, instead of trying to build everything from the ground up, maybe we'll just buy our way to the front of the line. And that little phrase, not focused on a specific size, whoa, that suggests they could be thinking big. Like really, really big.
So this points to a pretty simple but incredibly powerful three-step plan. Step 1, find a leader in generative AI. You know, the kind of AI that can create stuff, text, images, you name it. Step 2, buy them. Just acquire the company. And step 3, do the one thing Apple is famous for. Integrate that new tech so seamlessly into their ecosystem that it feels like magic. It's a plan to go from zero to hero almost overnight.
Okay, so if Apple is really going shopping with a blank check, who's on the list? Well, it looks like there are a few key private companies that are really leading the pack in this space. And wow, the scale here is just staggering. You've got these absolute giants, OpenAI and Anthropic, with valuations that are just mind-boggling. And they're already tied up with Apple's biggest rivals, Microsoft and Amazon. But then you have this other company, Perplexity. Still a huge player, but valued at a much more, let's say, digestible $18 billion. Now, to put that $18 billion number into perspective, think about this. Apple, right now, has over $55 billion in cash, just sitting in the bank. That's more than enough to make a very serious move without even breaking a sweat. So when you put all that together, a company like Perplexity starts to look like a really logical target, right? That $18 billion price tag, totally doable for an all-cash deal. And here's the kicker. It lets them avoid getting into a messy fight with Microsoft or Amazon over their existing partners. Okay, so an acquisition seems like a brilliant, clean, decisive move. But there's a fascinating counterargument here. What if this AI lag that everyone's talking about doesn't actually matter? At least, not yet. And that brings us to the real question, doesn't it? With all this hype about an AI arms race, do you, do I, do most regular people even care about these super advanced AI features on our phones right now?
Because check this out. This is pretty telling. Despite supposedly being behind on AI, Apple just did something it hasn't done in a long time. They posted double-digit revenue growth. Their sales are actually speeding up, even without all the latest AI bells and whistles.
So what's the reality on the ground? Well, it looks like this. Apple's making more money than ever, even without leading-edge AI. Most of us probably aren't even using the advanced AI features on any phone yet. And that killer app for mobile AI, the one thing you absolutely have to have, it's not here yet. And all of that together gives Apple something incredibly valuable, breathing room. They have time to be smart about this, to make the right move, not just the fastest one.
But, and this is a big but, the key phrase in all of that is for now. Because everyone seems to agree that someday, maybe even pretty soon, AI isn't going to be just a cool feature. It could be the reason you choose one phone over another.
So here's the bottom line. Apple is at a major crossroads. Their current success is fantastic, but what it's really done is buy them a window of opportunity. The big question is, will they use this time to make a bold, strategic purchase, something like snapping up a Perplexity, and define their next decade? Or will they play it safe and risk being left in the dust when the AI wave truly hits?